Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 2-3 Benzone, a special edition of the 2-3 Benzone. My name is Ben Cornett. I am here tonight to talk about the Sweet 16 preview. It's finally here. NCAA basketball back tomorrow night. Um, Starts out with the Sweet 16 Thursday and Friday, and then we got the Elite Eight Saturday and Sunday, and that will decide which teams will go to Houston for the Final Four this year. So far, it's been an amazing tournament. We've had a lot of upsets. Furman, Princeton, and of course, the biggest upset in tournament history, Fairleigh Dickinson, the number 16 seed, beating the number one seed Purdue in the first round. So a lot happened during that first weekend. Hopefully, it'll this weekend, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be just as good as the this past week. Going to be hard to top though. Again, with so many upsets, so many close games as well, and some incredible performances by a lot of teams. And speaking of which, we'll kick it off right now. We'll start out tonight. We're going to do the Thursday games. The uh, four of those games. Uh, the East Regional and the West Regional will be going on Thursday night. Let's start out with the East Regional. The first game that'll be shown will be Michigan State versus Kansas State. This is a pretty cool matchup. Michigan State's the 7 seed, Kansas State's the 3 seed in the East Regional. This will be in New York City, Madison Square Garden. This matchup it's interesting. I like the guard plays of both teams. Michigan State's got a terrific guard in Tyson Walker, uh, very good scorer, um, can handle the rock very well. And then you got Joey Hauser at the forward, who not only can play inside but can play outside as well, shoot the three. It seems to be a theme these days with uh, taller players, with forwards liking to shoot the three ball more than not. Because like 10, 20 years ago, you never really saw, you know, other than guards, you rarely saw forwards, even centers, shoot 3 pointers. But nowadays, you see that more often. The 3 pointer is very relevant. Um, Joey Hauser, as tall as he is, he could still, hit it from the outside, and he could play inside. So he's multi-dimensional offensively. And then you got Kansas State. Um, they're led by Keontae Johnson, transferred from Florida. He's been a big contributor for the Kansas State Wildcats. The emergence of this team, where they were picked before the season, picked nearly in the bottom of the league in the Big 12. Now they're 2 wins away from going to the Final Four, and Jerome Tang's done a great job with that program. He's brought the program back to relevancy again. They've had a few down years, but now they're on the big stage, and getting a key transfer like Keontae Johnson, who played at Florida and Gainesville, last year, has really helped this team. With the veteran experience, especially in that front court. And also they got a terrific backcourt with Novell and Desi Sills. Very good, backcourt combo. Can score at will. Also play defense. This is a game where I feel like the depth for Kansas State is going to be beneficial to them. Michigan State, while they got some good scores, they got length, they got size. Defensively, they're solid, but Kansas State, has pretty much everybody plays well on defense. A lot of their starting lineup can get their own shot. Kansas State, they've been in these big games, especially in the Big 12, playing Kansas, Texas twice a year. And they're battle tested as well as Michigan State. But I'm going to go Kansas State in this game just because I feel like the depth of their team is going to overpower, Michigan State's team. And, I just got a good feeling about this Kansas State team. The Wildcats, again, offensively, uh, very good, you know, inside and out. Michigan State doesn't have nearly as much depth. Joey Hauser's their best inside out player. Tyson Walker's a good scorer, um, not a great defender. Um, and Michigan State does give up a lot of points. And I feel like Kansas State, with their scoring, with their output, on the perimeter, I think they're going to win this game against Michigan State. It should be a good game, but I like Kansas State in this game to advance to the Elite Eight on Saturday. Now, the second East Regional matchup of the night is the surprising Florida Atlantic Owls out of the Conference USA. They are the 9th seed in the East Regional. A surprise to a lot of people. Maybe not so much a surprise to me because I've seen some of their play this year. Love watching them play. They were ranked earlier in the year, made the top 25. They're going to go up against the fourth-ranked or fourth-seeded Tennessee Volunteers, who I got to say I kind of counted them out in the first round because I felt like losing Zakai Ziegler, their best scorer, best playmaker on the offensive end, ended up tearing his ACL about a month ago. Was out for the year. I felt that was a big blow to Tennessee's offense, but they told me wrong. They're here now. So we'll dive into this matchup. Florida Atlantic. The what I look for in this game is going to come down to the guard play. Florida Atlantic's a very guard-heavy team. I believe they start 3 guards. They got a center and 1 forward. So they're a smaller team. Tennessee, a little bigger team, but also very guard-oriented as well. The backcourt matchup should be really good. Florida Atlantic's got Nick Boyd and also John Hale Davis. A good backcourt there. Both are very dynamic players. Then you got Tennessee, obviously, without Zakai Ziegler, that's okay. They got probably one of the best scorers in the NCAA tournament right now, and Santiago Vescovi. I'll tell you, man, he kind of reminds you of Manu Ginobili. Remember Manu in the NBA? A guy that can score, very creative, can shoot the ball. He finds different ways to score, but he also gets his teammates involved, gets his teammates, their shot, makes them better around him. And Vescovi's done such a good job, picking up the slack. Him and Ziegler were a dynamic backcourt duo until Ziegler went down. You worried that a lot of the load was going to be on Vescovi, but he's really carried this team to where they are now. Obviously with Olivier Nakoma, he's a forward that rebounds, crashes the boards. Offensive rebounding, superb, gives his team second chance opportunities. If you saw the game against Duke, Tennessee was all over the boards. Even on missed shots, they kept the offense alive, taking about, an extra 15, 20 seconds, an extra possession away from Duke. Made it hard on them. And like Duke, Florida Atlantic is a small team. And I feel like the team that rebounds the best and gets the defensive stops on their end are going to win this game. And I feel Tennessee's a little better defensively. They're a taller team, lengthier, more athletic, and I'm going to go with Tennessee in this game. They're going to beat Florida Atlantic. Should be a good game, but I think Tennessee pulls away in the second half, and they're going to go on to the Elite Eight to play Kansas State on Saturday. And that should be a heck of a matchup if that happens. That's my prediction. So Tennessee will beat Florida State or I'm sorry, Florida Atlantic. A good game. Florida Atlantic's done very well this year. They should be very proud of themselves, but uh, I think it comes to an end tomorrow night. So give me Tennessee in that game. Now, we're going to go over to the West Regional. I think going to be some two dynamic games coming up in that region. Let's first start out with Arkansas against UConn. As you know, Arkansas pulled off the upset on Saturday against number one ranked Kansas. A lot of people had Kansas, winning the national title. So they definitely busted a bracket there, busted many brackets, I should say. And UConn, out of the Big East, Dan Hurley's done a really good job, really building this program back up to where it was several years ago under Jim Calhoun, and most recently after that Kevin Ollie. So and look, UConn's a very rich tradition basketball program. 4 national championships. So there's a lot of pressure on Dan Hurley to get this program back on the right track, and right now they're definitely doing it. So this is going to be in Las Vegas, where I'm at. Wish I could have gone to these games, but tickets are outrageously pricey. But I'll still get to watch it on TV. So anyway, to break down this game, Arkansas, another great guard tandem. That seems to be the theme of the NCAA tournament, the guard play. Ricky Council, Devontae Johnson, very dynamic backcourt. Great defensively as well. With Eric Musselman, he's always prided himself on having defensive-minded teams. This team's no different. We know that Arkansas, in their defensive history, Nolan Richardson with the 40 minutes of hell back in the 80s and 90s. This team these days maybe not as athletic and tall as the ones Nolan Richardson had, but Eric Musselman, still brings that defensive intensity. Players love playing for him, and he's a player's coach. And you could see that in their effort, from one end of the court to the other. So, and for UConn, not as bad either. They're more reliant on their front court with the Damo Sinago. He's probably their leading. I think he's their leading scorer. Along with Tristan Newton, Jordan Hawkins. I mean, that's a solid backcourt. What it's going to come down to, UConn, they rely on the three-point shot. Shinago's a good scorer inside, but they like to shoot from the perimeter, and UConn, I believe, is in the top 40 this year in three-point percentage. So, if they hit their threes, it could be a long night for Arkansas. But I think Arkansas is a lot better defensively. They can guard the perimeter. They're fast, very handsy. Their length is going to, I believe, cause problems for the shooters for UConn. Arkansas definitely has the advantage in the front court as well. And, again, better defensively. So for me, I always feel like defense comes up big in these kind of games, and you can't always shoot your way into a national championship. UConn's good, but I'm going to go with Arkansas in this game. This is my prediction. I feel like, again, they're probably one of the best defensive teams in the tournament still. And, their guard play, like I said, with, Ricky Council, Devontae Johnson, they're very dynamic, can score, can play defense, and they can cause teams problems, So, and they gave Kansas, caused them problems. Braden Dick didn't shoot the ball well. Jalen Wilson didn't have his best game. The size of Arkansas controlled him, and he couldn't get anything going. So right now, Arkansas, and remember, they were a game away from the Final Four last year. So this team's on a mission, and I believe the Razorbacks are going to win this game. I think they beat UConn. I don't like to say this is a blowout, but I could see Arkansas, especially if UConn can't, you know, be consistent from the 3-point line. They can win by double digits. So I'm going to go Arkansas, and they're going to advance to the Elite Eight. That's my prediction on that game. And finally, we're going to talk about the other West Regional matchup. This is the game I think is going to be the best game out of the Sweet 16 tonight or tomorrow night and Friday night. I mean, this is the game right here for me. This is the one I've been looking forward to. After all the matchups were set, I felt this was like the game. This has Final Four potential type of game. It's a dream matchup. These guys have met a couple times before in the NCAA tournament. We all remember 2006, where Gonzaga had Adam Morrison. They had a big lead in that game. UCLA came all the way back with Aaron Afalo. Remember those teams. Steve Lavin was coaching that team. And then, UCLA beat them again in the Final Four. Or Gonzaga got the best of UCLA this time around in 2021, where Jalen Suggs hit that bomb from half court to move on to the national title game. So this is kind of the rubber match between Gonzaga and UCLA. So again, let's go over it. We all know Gonzaga's got probably one of the best scorers in the country, one of the best players in the country, and Drew Timme. But I feel like, there's some guys that are, without helping out Drew Timme, they probably wouldn't be where they're at. I'm talking about their guard play. Rasheer Bolton, Julian Strather, these guys are also very good shooters. I love how Rasheer Bolton plays, very fast, very good with the ball handling. He causes problems for defenses. He's tough to guard. And, when he gets going, I think the whole team gets going. Now, Drew Timme's the guy, their best overall player, but Rasheer Bolton's a dynamic dude. He can do it on both ends of the floor. He makes their offense better. And that's going to come in handy because they're going to play another guard duo in UCLA with Jaime Jaquez and Tiger Campbell. These guys, they have a lot of experience. They've been to the Final Four. This is a team that I've seen all year. Being out here on the West Coast, living in Vegas, with the Pac-12, seen a lot of their games. UCLA, to me, this is one of those teams I said a couple weeks ago before the tournament started. This team could go on a 6-game winning streak. They can go on that run because I feel like they're the most veteran-laden team in the country. Tiger Campbell, Jaquez, also Adam Bonner in the front court. They're just, to me, they're probably the most complete team in the country. They rebound. They defend very well. They shoot the three really well, and they got great depth. And it's interesting because this UCLA team, they're big they got a lot of size on their team that can neutralize Drew Timme. Bonner, McEntrian off the bench. He's I think 6'11". Those guys can give Drew Timme a hard time. They can even give up some fouls. So they can be really aggressive with Drew Timme. That's why I say I think for Gonzaga, if they're going to win this game, Rasheer Bolton and Strawther are going to have to play their best games. They're going to have to control the offense. Drew Timme's probably going to be limited again because UCLA has the size and the length to match up with them and try to neutralize them. Now, Drew Timme can still get he can still get some points, find other ways to score. But if Gonzaga is going to win this game and move on to the Elite Eight, Rasheer Bolton, Strawther, some of their Antoine Johnson, I think his name is. Those guys are going to have to step up, both offensively and defensively, to help out with Drew Timme. And I feel like, though, UCLA's depth and their size, they're getting some players back healthy. I feel, though, that, and this is a tough pick because either one of these teams could win, but I feel like UCLA, their size and depth, I think it's going to overcome, everything. It's going to overwhelm Gonzaga, and I feel like the backcourt of UCLA is just a little bit better, a little bit more experienced than the backcourt for Gonzaga. Again, Bolton's a great player. He may be the best guard out of the both backcourts, but Tiger Campbell, Waquez, they do it on both ends of the floor, especially Waquez. He's a great scorer. I'm going to go UCLA in this game, just because I feel like the depth and the size and the length, the athleticism is going to overwhelm Gonzaga offensively and defensively. Close game, but I think in the end, the experience of UCLA is going to take this one. And I got them winning. I got them playing Arkansas in the Elite Eight in the West Regional Finals. So, with that being said, my picks are going to be Kansas State and Tennessee in the East Regional. And I'm going to be picking UCLA and Arkansas in the West Regional. Those will be the matchups for the Elite Eight on Saturday. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this show up, but I wanted to give you a preview of the Sweet 16, my thoughts on it. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you're not watching now, if you're going to watch later, feel free to comment. And like I said, let's have fun. This is my favorite time of year. This is where it really starts, where you're going to start seeing these great matchups take place. And before we go, I just want to tell everybody, like and share this show. That would be greatly appreciated. It would help me out, give me some more views, just get my show out there more. It's 2-3 Benzone is going to be a more of a seasonal show. So after the Final Four, we probably won't do as many of these shows as possible. We won't do as many of these shows. Might do some NBA, but this is more mainly a college basketball show. I have other shows as well. Obviously, Have At It this Friday night. Also, I got Face the Heels, a wrestling show, usually every Monday nights. Sometimes I'll go on the weekends, just depending how busy I am. But yeah, with this show, like and share, just like my other shows. Like and share that as well. Again, this is the 2-3 Benzone Sweet 16 Night 1 preview and the predictions. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I have for this evening, but I want to thank everyone for watching. I know it was late. I apologize for that. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do a show tonight because I had a lot of stuff going on, but that got taken care of. Taken care of. I still up a little bit. I thought, what the heck? Let's just do a preview show even on such short notice. Again, I apologize for that. But anyway, let's enjoy the madness tomorrow. Sweet 16 time. Let's get it. Guys, I'm going to take off. Thank you very much for watching the show tonight. Like I said, like and share and subscribe as well on the Benzone. I have my Twitter, social media handle right there, Benzone and Facebook, YouTube, BenCornet9015, Twitter, BennyBoy702, and if you're an Instagrammer, Ben702 forever. So check me out on there. We don't do as many videos on Instagram, but still, if you're an Instagrammer, like to take pictures of yourself, selfies, or what you had for lunch, awesome. Yeah. Sean Spencer, thanks for tuning in, man. Enjoy the madness. Absolutely. Sean, sorry I'm late. No, no worries. Don't apologize. This was last second. Again, I originally didn't think I would be able to do the show tonight. I had a lot of stuff going on. Worked a little late. Had some other stuff going on. So, but I ended up getting some stuff done earlier than I expected, and I thought, oh, I have a little bit of time left before I, go to bed. So I thought, what the heck? Let's just get this over with. Um, talk about the Sweet 16. I'll do another one, hopefully tomorrow night. I will be on the NFL edition though, for a little bit, anyway, and then I'll probably do a show after that. So, anyway, take another sip of water. So my mouth is dry. So anyway, guys, that's all for tonight. Again, I might do a show tomorrow night, preview the other Sweet 16 matchups for Friday night. But you can also catch me on the NFL edition with Alex Loosemore, Johnny Bean, Alex Schomber, anybody on that show. That's on Bucks Report on our YouTube page. And Sean also says, let me know what time you go on tomorrow night. I will. It might be late though, Sean. I know you're out on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. We'll see how it goes. I'll let you know though, man. I'll keep you in mind, bro. So, that being said, I'm gonna take off. Guys, girls, enjoy your night, and I will see you later. Take care.